Good morning, Norte. I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Sarah, and this is Rio School News.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Face the flag, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
For 2019, the Hart District is putting a life-saving kit in each classroom. To find out more, let's hear from our principal, Mrs. Asplund.
Good morning, students. I'm here today to talk to you about a new safety kit we are making available in each of the classrooms on our campus. This is called the Keep the Pressure Kit, and it contains supplies that can be used to save a life in the event of an emergency that involves an injury with blood loss. In the last several years, the White House, along with expert groups such as the American College of Surgeons, has recommended that schools train students and staff on how to respond to such an injury. These kits will be helpful if there is a serious injury from an earthquake or an unlikely incident of school violence. We are now going to show you a short training video that displays the contents of the kit and explains how to use them. Please pay close attention and ask your teacher if you have any questions. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hi there, I'm Cambria Lawrence. And my name is Macy Lawrence. We're here to tell you about a product that we created called Keep the Pressure. We love living in Santa Clarita. The weather's great and there's lots to do. However, we're also in an area with earthquakes and other potential events that could cause injury. Hospitals that specialize in trauma, like the Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital, help to educate our community about what to do if someone's bleeding. With our Keep the Pressure campaign, we want to continue this education and take it to the next step by providing you with bleed kits. These are kits that can be used to stop bleeding and save lives.
Most simple bleeding can be stopped by applying firm, direct pressure, but when the bleeding becomes more severe, something else needs to happen. This is when the bleed kit will come in handy. The purpose of this video is to show you what the bleed kit looks like, what's inside it, and how to use this life-saving tool. We have some Valencia High School MSA students here with us today to help with the demonstration part of the video.
First, I would like to introduce you all to the Keep the Pressure bleed kit. Please notice the end caps on either side. These can be easily removed by squeezing the tube and popping them off, like so. Inside the kit, there are 6 items that you will need to be familiar with. Quick clot gauze, a compression dressing. This is much like an ace bandage wrap that you would use for an ankle sprain. Small trauma shears to cut open clothing and get better access to a wound. A survival wrap, 2 gloves, and a tourniquet. There are 2 of these.
Let's learn how to use a tourniquet. A tourniquet is for injuries to the arms or legs. It can be wrapped tightly around the arm or leg, and it actually pinches off the blood flow, which stops the bleeding, just like turning off a hose at the source. Let's use our model here as an example. Let's say he has an arm injury that's bleeding heavily. What you want to do is wrap the tourniquet around his arm 2 to 3 inches above the wound. Velcro it tightly, being careful to avoid the rod clips. It will be tight, but not nearly tight enough to stop the bleeding. It should be tight enough that the tips of 3 fingers aren't able to fit under the band. If it's too loose, retighten it. Now twist the rod until the bleeding stops. And secure the rod into the rod hook. Pro tip: it should be so tight that the tourniquet feels uncomfortably tight. Next, wrap the remaining strap over the rod and secure it all with the time strap. If possible, take a marker and write the time that the tourniquet was placed on the time strap. If the bleeding continues, further tighten the tourniquet or add a second tourniquet above the first. Leave the tourniquet on until the patient's in the hospital. Easy peasy, you just saved someone's life.
Okay, what if someone's bleeding from an area where you can't place a tourniquet, like the neck, chest, or stomach? This is where the quick clot gauze can save lives. This is the very special kind of gauze that is saturated with kaolin, basically a type of clay, that will help the body form clots and stop bleeding faster. You may need to use the trauma shears in this instance to get better access to the wound. The gauze needs to be packed tightly, not just placed over the top. We have a demonstration arm to show you how this works. Using a gloved finger, tightly pack the gauze into the wound. and use the excess gauze over the top for compression. Pro tip: you can also use the quick clot gauze in a wound if a tourniquet isn't completely stopping the bleeding. Since most bleeding stops with pressure, we've included a compression dressing as well.
This is basically a special elastic wrap that makes it easier to apply constant pressure to a bleeding wound.
This is the compressive dressing. Unwrap the dressing and place the bandaged portion over the wound like so. Secure the back of the dressing to the Velcro and continue to wrap tightly around the arm. When you come to the end, secure the hook to the dressing.
Don't take it off to check if it's working. If it's bleeding through the wrap, put more pressure on that site. Leave the compressor dressing on until the paramedics arrive.
Use this survival blanket provided in the kit or any other clothing or blanket to keep a patient warm, because cold patients tend to bleed more. It is important to know that all of these items can be used individually or together to save someone's life. It's also important to address severe bleeding quickly. It is our goal to give you the tools you need to help your classmates or teachers if they ever need this kind of help.
Remember to keep the pressure.
Today in clubs and activities, STEM Club meets in room B1 at lunch.
That's it for today. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Scarlett, and we'll see you next time on RioTV.